Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by the following: IU Health Southern Indiana physicians, primary care and specialty care providers now accepting new patients in Bloomington and throughout South Central Indiana. siphysicians.org. The IU School of Education, preparing teachers, scholars, and administrators to improve teaching and learning in Indiana and around the world. More at education.indiana.edu. Main Source Bank, headquartered in Greensburg, Indiana, offering products and services to fit every stage of life. More information at mainsourcebank.com. Main Source, life needs a great bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Smithville Fiber, the Gigacity Company. Fiber Internet, HD, and digital IPTV in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com.
And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana Newsdesk. Parts of Lake Lemon are gradually getting shallower.
If they don't do anything, the lake's going to continue to degrade, and so people are going to stop coming down here.
Ahead, what's causing the problem? What solutions are being discussed, and who might have to foot the bill if Lake Lemon is going to be preserved? Plus, with an audit in progress and an FBI investigation underway, the Utilities District of Western Indiana approves a number of changes to improve transparency and attempt to regain the confidence of ratepayers. Plus,
we'll take a visit to the Peru Amateur Circus, where a lot is going on, and we'll show you how different communities across the state are keeping the circus alive.
Those stories, plus the latest news headlines from across the state, right now on Indiana Newsdesk. Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. The shoreline of Monroe County's Lake Lemon is shrinking. Increasing sediment runoff is a threat to recreation as shallow waters limits where people boat and swim. As Becca Costello reports, the Lake Lemon Conservancy District is taking action to increase the life of the man-made lake.
Jesse and Carol Trueblood have been bringing their family to Lake Lemon for more than 3 decades. It's not just a familiar place to spend summer vacations. Their son grew up here, bringing his friends every year, and eventually
He proposed to his now wife on the boat with the fireworks in the background.
the Truebloods have watched the lake gradually change through the years.
I miss the access that used to be here when all of this was navigable. Everything up to the trees was navigable, and now most of what you see here is not.
That's because of all the sediment that gets washed into the lake from creeks and other tributaries. The water at Lake Lemon is as shallow as 6 inches in some areas. It's a problem that all man-made bodies of water have to deal with. For Lake Lemon, most of the sediment comes from Bean Blossom Creek, which empties out right by the Trueblood's house. The sediment settles on the bottom of the lake, and it's forming a delta that's been growing since the lake was built 64 years ago. The only way to remove the soil once it's at the bottom of the lake is to dig it up, a process called dredging.
Mostly what we've been doing is dredging access channels and getting people's docks in deeper water so that they can get out and access the lake. At that time, or during that time, the rest of the lake is still shallowing up where that delta is forming.
As much as 40,000 cubic yards of sediment is deposited into the lake each year. And right now, the Conservancy District is only removing about 12,000 cubic feet per year. The district formed a study committee to look at the problem and brainstorm some solutions. They presented the findings to property owners last week.
The longer we wait, the worse it will get, and the more it will cost. So now is the time.
The committee presented a number of options, ranging from doing what they're doing now to the most dramatic, dredging the entire lake. But each idea comes with advantages and disadvantages. A complete dredging, for example, would be effective, but it creates an additional problem. Tons of dirt every year and nowhere to put it. Van Tassel says the best option is more measured, dredging just the east end near Bean Blossom Creek and using some of the sediment to build berms, basically long, low walls sticking out from the shore that would direct new sediment flow into specific areas.
Over time, it'll make it easier for us to consolidate that sediment and clean it out, rather than having it kind of scatter all throughout the lake.
To do either option, the district needs to invest in faster, more efficient dredging equipment. Hydraulic dredges can continuously dig and pump sediment through a pipe to a dump site miles away. Right now, crews are limited to digging up the soil, placing it on a barge, and towing it to a dump site on shore. With the current method, it would take 30 years to dig up the amount of sediment it takes a hydraulic machine just 1 year to dig. But that equipment is expensive. Dredging the whole lake would cost $8 million over the next 4 years. The more limited option would cost close to $1.4 million. The Conservancy District has some cash on hand, and there are some grants they can apply for. But a lot of the people at the meeting are wondering about another revenue source.
The big question, will we have to raise taxes? The correct answer, we don't know yet.
Not everyone is happy about that possibility, especially since the revenue would be spent almost exclusively on the east end of the lake. But current management stresses the shoreline is shrinking. It's happening little by little every year.
A lot of people, I don't think, realize how much we're losing and how quickly we're losing it. It's just going to keep creeping west, so you're just slowly losing it from the east to the west.
And if left unchecked, it will eventually impact the entire lake. The True Bloods can't do all the things they used to on Lake Lemon, and they've even had to pay a couple $1,000s out of pocket for some dredging near their property. But they see it as a worthwhile investment if it means they can keep bringing their family to Lake Lemon for the next few decades.
Whatever it takes to bring the lake back to life, we're all for it.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Becca Costello.
The Conservancy District is still weighing all the options, but after officials decide on a path forward, work could begin as soon as summer 2018. Now for headlines, we go over to Lindsay Wright, who has the latest on this week's top stories.
Thanks, Joe. The state legislature is looking into the state's alcohol laws. The 2-year study comes in the wake of a charged debate last session over whether convenience stores should be able to sell cold beer. GOP leaders say they plan to appoint an alcohol study committee chairman who isn't a lawmaker. Indiana is planning to submit a proposal to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services that would add a work requirement to the Healthy Indiana Plan, or HIP 2.0. The proposal would require HIP members to put in time each week working, job hunting, job training, or studying. If they don't, they'll risk losing their health care. Indianapolis-based Bosma Enterprises has joined a federal lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. The complaint alleges the agency ignored a long-standing law when it changed contracting rules that have been used for decades to give jobs to the visually impaired. The new rules give priority to veteran-owned businesses.
If this rule stands as is, we would lose people, both sighted and blind, but I'm more concerned about the people who are blind because the unemployment rate's so high.
Moneymaker says Bosma could lose about $36 million. He says with the lawsuit, the organizations hope veteran-owned businesses and the blind can get preferred sourcing. The city of Bloomington is challenging the constitutionality of language included in the state's biennial budget that's halted the city's annexation plan. The suit is filed against Governor Eric Holcomb. It was filed this week, and it seeks an injunction against enforcement while the court deliberates on the constitutionality. The governor and Bloomington Mayor John Hamilton are scheduled to meet in July to talk about the annexation. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos praised Indiana's expansive school choice laws in Indianapolis this week and alluded to a federal effort to expand school choice. Claire McInerney has more.
DeVos gave the keynote address at the annual conference for the American Federation for Children, a school choice advocacy group. She praised Indiana's school choice laws and says she wants students all over the country to have the same opportunities as students in Indiana, and that the Trump administration has a plan to do that. DeVos says the president is proposing the most ambitious expansion of education choice ever in the United States.
The proposal's aim is to empower states and give leaders like Governor Eric Holcomb the flexibility and opportunity to enhance the choices Indiana provides for Indiana students. If a state doesn't want to participate, that would be a terrible mistake on their part.
She did not lay out details to what a federal program could look like, but budget blueprints leaked over the last few months show various cuts to public education.
Jump to the bus! Jump to the bus!
The Indiana State Teachers Association organized a protest of DeVos's visit and held a rally with speakers discussing the downfalls of widespread school choice. Christina Fry was one of the protesters and a parent of a public school student. She says she doesn't like that private schools can pick which children they allow in.
And I especially don't think it's right for dollars that really should be in our public schools, who have to deal with all of our kids, no matter how difficult, no matter how many needs that they have. We need to keep the money there in those public schools.
Indiana has some of the most expansive school choice laws, including laws that encourage charter schools and vouchers. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Claire McInerney.
Carrier's plan to eliminate 632 jobs at its Indianapolis factory will start in July. About half the factory workers will be cut by July 20th. The other half will be out of work by the end of December. President Donald Trump made the plight of 1,400 Carrier workers a major campaign theme. Under pressure from Trump, Carrier announced last November that it would keep some operations in Indianapolis, so about 800 workers will stay employed there. Carrier is also closing a sister plant in Huntington. Well, Indiana will receive about $600,000 from a multi-state settlement with Target to resolve a probe into the discounter's pre-Christmas data breach in 2013. Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill said in a statement that the state can use the settlement money at its own discretion. Indiana officials are urging homeowners and landscapers to stop planting ornamental pear trees because they're an invasive species that's crowding out native trees.
When one goes into a nursery or garden center, they may want to ask, okay, I like what a Bradford pear looks like, but what other alternatives? There are also information on websites that you can go and look for alternatives.
The DNR says the best tree to replace any invasive tree species is one that's native to a particular region, such as serviceberry trees that produce white spring blooms and fruit trees that attract wildlife. 2 Indiana companies are working with NASA to construct what can best be described as a space taxi. Major Tool and Machine and Imagineering Finishing are building the upper dome of a spacecraft being designed by Boeing. That craft will be used to carry astronauts.
Long term, there is a hope that as interest continues to build for manned spaceflight beyond trained astronauts, there'll be an opportunity for space travel for you and I and anyone that has the financial means, frankly, to take that upon themselves.
The 2 Indiana companies have already built and finished 2 of those domes. Well, some beaches near Lake Monroe will be closed for Memorial Day this weekend. Excessive rainfall fully submerged both beaches in water at the Paintown and Fairfax state recreational areas. The Army Corps is starting to release some water from the dam to get the water level back to normal. And Joe, we've had so much rain, I can't say I'm surprised.
Well, and there's more rain in the forecast, especially Sunday, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that as well.
Yeah,
Thanks,
sure.
Lindsay. Coming up next on Indiana Newsdesk. We're off to the circus. We'll take you to French Lick, where a museum is preserving some of Indiana's deep-rooted circus history.
And then your big top's over there, your sideshow's down here, and this is all set up exactly as it would have been had you been going to the circus.
They're back. Cicadas are arriving, but this could be just a fraction of what we can expect to see in the future. These stories and more right here on Indiana Newsdesk.
Nature takes you places where you've never gone before.
It's watching something that's actually happened.
Nature sure draw me in the story.
Just their power and their grace.
It was just so beautiful to watch them.
The movement and just watching the body and watching the chase. Like this huge, lush, vibrant watercolor.
Gems.
There was such a shot of underneath watching these elephants swim in this deep water.
I had no idea even they could swim like that. I saw that one monkey pulling on this one monkey's tail, and the monkey like, man, what you doing? What you doing?
It's like the theater of the wild or something.
7 billion trillion animals living on one planet.
It's like more colorful than than you think life can possibly be.
Somewhere between the mystique and the beauty of it is reason enough to sit down and watch.
That's life. And that's nature.
Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. An audit of the finances, the management, and policies at the Utilities District of Western Indiana is underway. The co-op board voted this week to hire Blue & Company to conduct the independent review. At the same time, the FBI is continuing its own investigation of the electric co-op. The board is trying to be more transparent and restore faith in its members. Sarah Whitmire has been following this story. Sarah, part of being more transparent was allowing you into the group's meeting this week.
That's right, Joe. The co-op's bylaws state that you can't come to a meeting unless you're a member of the UDWI co-op. Even then, you have to give 7 days written notice, minimum of 7 days, and you have to submit it to the CEO for approval. But Brian Sparks, the CEO, was put on paid leave earlier this month, and what the board voted to do this week was essentially gut all of those restrictions about who can come to a meeting and when. They want you to let them know that you plan to come, just so they make sure they have enough space, and also that the people who can answer your questions are there in attendance.
UDWI customers have been paying the highest rate in the state for their electricity. Co-op members elected 3 new board members back in April who pledged to look into the district's finances and figure out where the money was going. Any updates there?
Well, what the board said this week is they're really making this independent audit priority number 1, and they hope to have that complete by the end of June. 2 things they did do of importance is they decided to put charitable giving on hold. Last year at this time, they had already given away $62,000 out of their general fund, and they said they just kind of need to stop and look at what they're giving money to and maybe establish some policies before giving out any more money. They also changed who has the authority to write checks. 3 people were authorized before to write checks. They replaced that with 3 new people who've never had the authority to write checks to, in their words, just sort of start fresh.
And Sarah, what about board salaries? The board sets its own salaries, which are among the highest of all the co-ops in the state.
So a few people did come to the meeting to ask specifically about that. They voted for these candidates thinking that was going to be one of the first things that they tackled. And as we've reported, some of the board members, when you average it out, make as much as $175 an hour. But what the board said is, give us time. We'll get to that issue, but right now we've got to focus on this audit and this FBI investigation. Let's wait till that's resolved, and then we'll get to the issue of board salaries.
Okay, thank you very much, Sarah. It's known as the greatest show on earth, and now it's come to an end. After 146 years, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus put on its final act this month. The company blamed declining attendance and high operating costs. Now, that all started when animal rights activists targeted the circus, alleging animal abuse. Ringling was the biggest circus, but there are others, and as Lindsay Wright reports, small communities are hoping to take all the best parts of the circus and continue the tradition for generations to come.
Indiana's history with the circus is rich, and while some are calling it quits like the Ringling Brothers, the circus is very much alive in the Hoosier State. Here in French Lick, you'll find a museum exhibit that's all things circus. That's because French Lick was home to the Hagenbeck-Wallace Circus. It was the second largest circus after the Ringling Brothers, and it wintered in French Lick from 1913 to 1929.
At the end of the season, the circuses would come back here and they would fill up the barns with all the animals and the wagons and work on things and get ready for the next season, the next spring.
The old elephant barn is still standing inside the city limits. In 1929, Hagenbeck-Wallace signed a deal with Ringling Brothers and sold its circus, bringing it to an end. But when you step inside French Lick's museum and see a massive 1,100 square foot diorama, you're suddenly transported to the past. You feel like you're there.
Yes, because all these wagons, these are all identical wagons to what was used at the time, down to the paint job, the carving, everything.
The exhibit walls document stories from the circus. Many are surprising little anecdotes that give you a window into what the circus was like outside of the circus tent, like how the world's smallest clown was part of the Hagenbeck-Wallace Circus, or how a 1918 train crash in Indiana carting the circus crew killed more than 80 of the performers you see in this picture. Since Ringling Brothers is no more, Drabing says exhibits like this will be how young people now experience the circus.
It makes me sad when people walk in here with a child that's like 4 or 5 years old and this is the only thing they're ever going to see of a circus.
But wait, let's head north to Peru in small town Indiana, where it's really all things circus, and it's alive and well. There are no animal acts in Peru. The amateur circus is where performers between the ages of 7 and 21 fly through the air, walk a high wire, juggle, and much more.
Roundup usually starts about the end of February, and then we have about 2 weeks off, and then we start mid-March, and we go all the way up until showtime in July.
The Peru Amateur Circus puts on a show every year. It runs for a week and takes about 2,000 volunteers to get it off the ground, so to speak. And many of the volunteers and kids do it year after year. Take Don Ross, for example. He's been working with the circus for 15 years, and you could say it's somewhat of a family affair.
It happens my daughter and son-in-law worked with Ringling, and my granddaughter was born on that show.
Now his granddaughter is part of this circus. That's her flying through the air. But Ross says, although it's sad to see Ringling Brothers come to an end, the circus isn't going anywhere.
I simply don't see a deterioration of that continuing. This little show all by itself has its own inertia, and it's going to continue whether Ringling is there or not.
Peru's big show happens in Peru, of course, but it makes its mark with performances across the state and has even gone out of the country, offering traditional circus acts and more. So there are places out there like Peru and French Lick keeping the circus alive. You just have to find them. And remember, as the Peru performers say at the end of each show, may all your days be circus days. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Lindsay Wright.
Cicadas are showing up around the area, but experts say it's just a preview of what's to come when they fully emerge in 2021. Ryan DiBattista reports.
You may recognize their song.
It's this strange science fiction-y sound, like woo, woo, woo. And I heard it on Saturday outside. And it wasn't as loud as it was in 2004 or will be in 2021, but there were definitely enough around to start this chorusing call.
2004 was the last major appearance of Brood X, the largest group of cicadas in south central Indiana. They come in a 17-year cycle and are expected back in 2021. The cicadas appearing now are what some people call stragglers, even though they are 4 years early.
A better term might be precocious, but that's not what they call them.
Clay says scientists don't know exactly what causes this early emergence.
I mean, there's several hypotheses that I could think of, none of which would be easy to prove or have been tested as far as I'm aware. One idea is that they're just mixed up. They weren't paying close enough attention, like a kid in school. They thought the test was next week and it turned out to be today. So they're unprepared.
Clay says the peak of the emergence this year is likely already over, and we won't be seeing any more cicadas from Brood X until the 17-year cycle ends. That is to say, curiously, stragglers only appear 4 years, and exactly 4 years early. Clay says he thinks this emergence represents fewer than 1% of the billions of cicadas that will be here for the main event in 2021. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Ryan DiBattista.
And IndyCar race fans will travel to the Speedway in Indianapolis this weekend for the 101st running of the Indy 500. But a team at Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis is creating another way for you to get an up-close look at racing history from your home. At the University Library Center for Digital Scholarship, digital 3D models are being created from items from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum.
We've been digitizing 2D collections since 2006, and about a year and a half ago, we were introduced to a newer technology.
With a structured white light scanner, the team creates interactive displays by scanning their geometry. Johnson says the scanners are made for manufacturing and accurate within 1/20th a millimeter. Texture is added to the displays to create the models. Among the items the team has digitized so far are hood ornaments, helmets, and race suits.
This is the suit. These aren't pictures that are stitched together. This has been built using a 3D scanner.
Johnson says the digital presentation allows people to see the artifacts even if they can't make it to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum.
You can zoom them, you can pan them, you can download them for 3D printing.
You can also view the items in virtual reality.
Johnson says she would like to digitize a car, but that's a work in progress. That's the end of this program, but our work continues online as we cover the news throughout the week at WTIUnews.org. Have a great weekend.
Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by the following: IU Health Southern Indiana physicians, primary care and specialty care providers now accepting new patients in Bloomington and throughout South Central Indiana. siphysicians.org. The IU School of Education, preparing teachers, scholars, and administrators to improve teaching and learning in Indiana and around the world. More at education.indiana.edu. Main Source Bank, headquartered in Greensburg, Indiana, offering products and services to fit every stage of life. More information at mainsourcebank.com. Main Source, life needs a great bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Smithville Fiber, the Gigacity Company. Fiber Internet, HD, and digital IPTV in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com.
And by WTIU members, thank you.